Panjang Ria Commission reach your name?
Yes!
Hi, Sanji Yang. Why still so short after 14 years?
Bro, are you intellectually impaired?
What do you mean? Are you calling me dumb?
You're under the shade, bro. Look up.
How does this affect Sanji Yang's growth?
Never mind now. Just watch this video.
In this video, we're going to discuss what is photosynthesis and how light intensity affects the rate of photosynthesis. Our group members are me, Janice, Clarice, Shane, Joshua, Jingxin, and Guohan. So, what is photosynthesis?
Photosynthesis is the only way organisms can produce food for themselves beside chemosynthesis.
Jingxin, right now you might be asking where does this process happen?
I'm not that dumb, bro. Of course I know it happens in the flower, right?
If you said the leaf, you'd be right. But of course you just had to say a flower, you dumb. You dumb.
Whoa, calm down there, Gohan. Anyways, Jan, what happens inside the leaves? The chlorophyll inside captures sunlight. Chloroplasts then combine the energy from sunlight, carbon dioxide from the air, and water absorbed by the roots from the soil
to produce glucose. Glucose is a simple sugar that plants use to perform metabolic reactions.
But why is photosynthesis so important?
Plants produce oxygen as a byproduct of photosynthesis, which is important for organisms, including animals like you and me, which require oxygen to respire and stay alive.
Plants also photosynthesize to keep themselves alive, allowing them to help regulate the Earth's climate. Oh, so in that way, photosynthesis can help sustain plants themselves and sustain other forms of life too.
As mentioned before, sunlight is a major component of photosynthesis. To understand how light intensity affects photosynthesis, we need to understand how plants even use it in the first place. I'm gonna simplify it cause... Anyways, as you know, plants have chloroplasts. When you look inside these chloroplasts, you see there are light harvesting complexes, or LHCs, which contain proteins and pigments, which includes chlorophyll. When a light particle strikes a leaf, it delivers its energies that excite the pigments in the LHCs. This excitation jumps from one pigment to another until it reaches the reaction center. Energy created in the reaction center is used to split water, H2O, into oxygen gas, O2, and hydrogen ions, which are protons. The oxygen produced is released into the air while the protons move around until they reach an enzyme in the chloroplast. These enzymes are used to make ATP, which is then used in another part of the chloroplast to convert carbon dioxide into glucose. Therefore, theoretically, the more sunlight, the higher the chance of light particles exciting LHCs, and increases the rate of photosynthesis.
However, no hypothesis can be proven without an experiment. For this experiment, we'll need an aquatic plant, preferably hydrated, some water, sodium bicarbonate, also called hydrogen carbonate or commonly baking soda, a beaker, a thermometer, a lamp, a meter rule, a test tube, a water tank, a rubber bank, and a stopwatch.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine.
To set up the experiment, fill a test tube and a beaker with some water. Put sodium bicarbonate into the test tube and shake well. It will react with water to produce carbonic acid, which will then decompose into carbon dioxide for the plant. Place the test tube in the beaker with a thermometer in the water to ensure that the temperature throughout is constant. The independent variables for this experiment is the distance of the lamp from the beaker. Obviously, this is to change the light intensity experienced by the plant. The dependent variable is the number of bubbles the hydrolea produces in 2 minutes. Even more obviously, this is to measure the rate of photosynthesis. There are also many fixed variables in this experiment. The fixed variables are the duration of time the plant is exposed to the light source, which is 2 minutes, the temperature of the water, the number of leaves, the amount of sodium bicarbonate added, and the light source used.
Now just take a plant from Jingxin.
And shove it in a test tube. Then place the lamp 10 cm away from the beaker, measuring the distance with a meter rule. Then start a stopwatch for 2 minutes and count the number of bubbles produced.
10 minutes later.
55, 56.
Bro, why are you so slow?
Silence. I'm trying to focus, bro. Can you not see?
Skill issue, bro. Let me count lah.
Another 10 minutes later.
135, 136. Wait, isn't that the same bubble?
That's just a speck of dust, bro.
You shut up I lost count again, bro.
Hey, why you guys so noisy one?
Bro, Jingxian lah, he needs to go back to kindergarten. He doesn't even know how to count.
Okay, relax. Let me see. Just use a syringe lah.
My god lah.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Just add a delivery tube to the rubber bung and connect it to a gas syringe, and instead, measure the volume of gas produced. Let's restart the experiment again, but this time, hopefully without any arguments. And something they forgot to mention, place a glass tank of water between the lamp and the beaker to absorb the heat from the lamp. After every 5 minutes, remove the lamp away from the beaker by 10 cm intervals. Record the amount of gas in the syringe each time and tabulate the data. You should get a table like this. Add another row to the table to show the volume of gas produced. Remember, 1 milliliter equals to 1 cm cube. As the distance of the beaker from the lamp increases, the volume of gas produced decreases. In conclusion, as light intensity increases, the rate of photosynthesis increases up until the saturation point. After the saturation point, other factors start to limit the rate of photosynthesis and it will remain constant. These are the fixed variables mentioned before.
The real-life examples of how light intensity affects photosynthesis are plants that are in dark places like Shane's basement, because the plants will start and weed and die because they have not enough sunlight. But there are plants which have adapted to live in low light. These plants that are at the bottom are rainforests, which get less light because of the tall trees like Bishan blocking the sun.
Jingxin, do you get it now?
I understand it now.